Welcome to day 4. We are about to embark. Mosquitoes. It is cloudy. The sun is coming up behind us. It's pretty much what it's going to look like every morning, I think. It wasn't cold or anything yesterday. It was decent. You weren't sweating your bag off if you were trying hard or not. It's going to be a mat day today. Hawking mats. Yesterday, once it got in the groove, it was pretty good. Wasn't too bad at all. Hopefully that's kind of where we're going to be at again today. Hopefully. We'll see. There isn't any stalls today. We got the hoe is on location, the loader's on location. We got 2 Texas bed trucks. We'll be hawking mats at 16 at a time. It'll take 18 just as much as almost the ratchet strap can hold, but it does honestly starts to get a little sway. I could just slow down. I have a hard time slowing down. We didn't do anything for almost 2 days, so I'm like, I gotta go now. Going hard, gotta make up for it. But a big project like this, it doesn't really matter because it's pointless to go hard. We're just bobtail now. Got nothing, just us. The other T-beds back there behind the camper. Let's go over here and get some breakfast. Oh, so another beautiful day in the mountains. The sun is just starting to shine over there on that one. Usually clears off, you know, by 11 o'clock. It's cleared up. It's pretty decent out. Stuck behind a packer and a grader here. Just admiring the scenery. They get lots of soil erosion here, and then their biggest concern is it's hard to regrow vegetation because there's so much sand underneath all this stuff, and then it's usually pretty windy through this whole valley. So I know you probably seen a little bit yesterday's video where coming across the lake there, it's got a sand beach, and it was just blowing up over top of the road, and it was the passing vehicles, it was just a dust storm. So that's one of their biggest concerns with this project. Is like, oh, we're gonna dig up and make a pipeline, and then the vegetation won't regrow. And I'm just like, oh, that's pretty. I'm like, we have millions and billions of dollars put into projects. I'm like, we'll make sure vegetation will be growing. I've seen the government in the Yukon grow grass on sand all the time, but I guess we didn't have gale force winds. You get that spray cannon where a guy just drives with the truck and shoots this green stuff along the embankment, and then voila, there's grass growing. And you're like, yeah, that's pretty sweet. It'd be an alright job if it wasn't like chemically induced and you weren't sitting there sucking that up all day, just water cannoning my grass all over the countryside. Like I'm riding a tank. I'd like to stop here one time. I could actually make one stop at one spot or 2. No, just 1, because yesterday I only had like 40 minutes to spare. If that's, is that what we're going to be doing every day? We leave there by 5, then 5:30, yes, 5:30. Depends on how deep we go. I think we'll be doing the same thing today from the same spot. It's like 3 to 4 kilometers of matting, or it's 3-kilometer drive in to where we're pulling the matting, and then we'll pull the road from there out to, I don't know. I will find out today, I guess. Very nice. Very nice backside of the visor. Usually they don't budge. They won't even flinch. Yesterday I jaked by one and he was like, what is that? It's like, I think I know that sound. Is that a gunshot? Usually they hang out all over here because they're just desensitized to being around tourists, because that's how they trap tourists and cause accidents. They just hang out on the side of the road. They sleep in herds right on the side of the road, right in town. They walk around town all the time in Jasper. And everybody's like, oh my God, look. And I'm like, look at what? Like, where are you from? Here it's all sandy. They're like, it's hard to grow vegetation along this lake. Well, it's not the pipeline right away. I'd like to come out here and do some dirt biking. How about that erosion? Hot spot in the summer when it's warm, you'll see like tons of vehicles parked all along the road here. This whole pull-out. This is kind of like, reminds me a little bit. Abraham Lake is out by Nordegg, which west of Rocky is pretty like this. Windy, always, all the time. But it's nice scenery, and it's cold. I think this lake is pretty shallow because I can see tree stumps and trees that got washed up or eroded away from the riverbank all the way across this whole lake. So it must only be like, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet deep, if that. Can't see it because my mirror's in the way. I think you can't see it. That's the problem. When you crop in the GoPro, it doesn't have enough pixels to satisfy your needs to be able to zoom way in, right? Release the hounds. Coming around you. Gravy load you got there, sir. And here comes a cop. So lots of nice rock scenery, that's for sure. I like all that. It's too bad all the trees are getting mangled by spruce beetles. I mean pine beetles. God damn it. I always mix that up. I'll be coming around you portside in a minute. Peterbilt. Oh, that's not port. That's starboard. Get it right. That's what happens when you grow up in the mountains. Get her back down to a dull roar. Cruising speed. So yeah. That's what I'm up against today. Too bad these windows are trashed. Yeah, very nice scenery here. It's not that hard to work out here. There's a lot of impatient drivers still because a lot of Albertans. always stop traffic when we're unloading. We shut down both lanes when they're scooping the mats off the truck, because if just per se something might fall off the one side of the truck into passing traffic when you're grabbing, you never know, it might happen, right? So you got to think up and beyond all safety aspects. Be like, well, what could happen? And you'd be like, well, this could happen. I'm like, okay, how do we fix that? We stop all traffic when the loader's taking off matting off the truck, which is great, but then it builds a big pile of traffic, and sometimes I'm like, okay, as soon as I'm in my truck waiting, releasing the brakes when he grabs the last scoop so I could jet out of there so I don't get stuck behind everyone. Nice emerald looking lake. We got a bunch of those in renowned lakes that are world famous emerald lakes in Whitehorse, Yukon, and it's the light clay that makes it look like that. And its shallowness, of course, but I remember they're on postcards, just like the Northern Lights and the Bears and the Eagles, all that stuff that we got going on in the Yukon. And I remember as a kid there was a restaurant there, and we'd always go out to Carcross. It's the world's smallest desert and little town, and we go out there all the time, and there would be oil drums in there. I could see them from the restaurant all over, because the army just dumped their stuff everywhere they went. So there would be like drums of, I don't know, it was probably fuel at the time, right? Because they had everything come by a drum for fuel, and they had to pump all their, man, just imagine pumping fuel every day. That's why those dudes were so ripped. They're like, yeah, 40 below, I'm out here in my jean jacket, jean pants, and some form of toque with some gloves, maybe running this 1950s D6 or 7, whatever. Man, I'm just rambling on. I'm trying to give you guys content. Something different. But anyways, okay. We'll just go on, keep driving. We'll talk to you later. All right, so yeah, every morning we gotta go in and get our temperature checked, and then we head off to work, get our work instructions, do a little bit of paperwork, and then yeah, hit the streets at about 8 a.m. So we spend about an hour at the
5 empty Philippines.
Main yard there. Everybody's getting their ear tap checked, so there's a lineup. Bit of a process. We're just driving by Jasper right now. And yeah, I was just instructed we're gonna go just out past where we're actually going to load, and sit and wait for the signal to go ahead and come in, and then yeah, we got to go in. It's like the 2.5 kilometers to the right of way, and then start peeling mats from there out. Kind of be the gist of what we'll be doing today. Back and forth. It's like I'm hauling gravel. At least visually I get to keep my eyes entertained. Alright, well, stay tuned and enjoy some of the show. So that's a pretty hairy trail. It's the first time I've ever been on any mountain, pipeline, stuff like that. So that was kind of crazy looking. Not too bad though. I'm sure some sections are pretty hairy, pretty steep. This rain is not going to help as long as it looks like it could turn into snow. We're right in probably the worst spot right now on this highway, right? The weather, from what I can tell, usually right in here is the bad spot. 3 out of 5 times it'll be raining, snowing. All that jazz. They're washing the bridge up here today, getting all the loose gravel off it. So yeah, I could imagine if it gets any worse, they'll probably be shutting it down. I don't know if it's better from somewhere else. Like they weren't ready with road control yet, which is weird. I'm like, dude, it's 11:30 almost, and the first load I took to a different holding yard, which wasn't that far away from where we were. It's only like an extra 8K down the road from where we're supposed to be dumping them, but he's like, okay, on the next round you will be dumping them off here, and it is raining there pretty good. That's another problem too. If there's visibility issues, they'll shut down the project as well. So as you can see on the end of the lake there, it's looking kind of bad. Pretty gravy job these guys got. Working city work, but in the country. Like, I could handle this being out here. Lakes District Maintenance. So yeah, that's kind of typical weather. It's always raining like this in the mountains. It could be miserable most of the time. Damp, that's for sure. It's always raining somewhere along this drive. Usually around like the Blue River on is like kind of your damp spot too. But then you come out and Kamloops is kind of like deserty, so kind of weird, but neat at the same time. You get like, you go from Alberta, you got farm fields, and then you hit the mountains. You kind of got like your natch. It's all nice and moist BC here, which is nice. And then, yeah, then you get out to Kamloops and it's deserty, so that's pretty cool. But anyways, there's the update. We're going for load number 2. And yeah, stay tuned.
that far? Take it easy, copy. Oh. Keep going down.
On my way back for load number 4, 16 at a shot. Seems to be the magic number. It's easier to keep count of, I guess, for everyone. Like, I could take a couple more, but it's not gonna make or break the world. We have like 3 kilometers of mats. Plus there's a stack. Like, this is just the access road to the pipeline. It took me a little while to clue in because I'm like, man, I'm like, they did such a good job. It doesn't even look like they put a pipeline in here. And then I was like, chances are, because I didn't think about it, because it crossed over an old pipeline. So they must have, I thought I was told they were twinning it, so they were going the same spot. Maybe it was a different kind of pipeline. But anyways, 3 kilometers worth of pipeline that we got to dig up. And, not 3 kilometers of pipeline. Cut. Train of thought lost. There's 2 access roads actually. There's one to the west of where we are. There's one on the east. It's got that crazy hump. So it's like kind of impassable by trucks. So we got access from both sides. So all the old access roads that they used when they put in the pipeline in like the 50s, I guess. 1953 is 26 inch? 24 or 26 inch is the one that was put in 1953. So they were putting in a 36 inch. A little more girth to her. Weather conditions are still the same over there where those clouds are as where I've been hanging out and going. And then it's hit and miss if it's raining when we unload or not. Misting usually. I don't think we'll get it done today. It'll take a long time. Well, we got 3 trucks now. Well, no, it's just 2 of us. 2 of us on the east side and 1 guy on the west side. He's actually getting the air bridge stuff, so there's a bunch of 8x20s. Air bridge is where you could do probably 2 or 3 8x20s about the distance apart that the pipeline would be in, and then you put I think there'd be swamp mats underneath that. Then you do the steel mats. And then it just kind of makes it so nothing touches where the pipeline was. So those are air bridges. They're kind of chunky and rough. They do have these rubber wedges that they put in between where you step up from mat to mat, which is nice. It's not a shock load and it's not crashing and banging. But yeah, there's a couple little surprise whoops on the road there to catch me off guard, and it's just like, ugh, especially when you're loaded. It takes it's about 25 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes going in. You get basically 10 kilometers an hour. It's a little too rough. You might be able to get up to 15 in a few spots, but you get going too fast, it starts kicking up a whole bunch of junk. Then I'm always we're driving over lots of these humps. Scared I'm gonna get my tire chains are gonna get pinched in between the wood somewhere, and it's just gonna rip them right off. So I can hear them dragging. Alright, see, it's looking real good. We're over there. That's right where we're going. The other end of the lake. It's a pretty calm day today. It's kind of nice. Other than the rain, it would be glass almost. Decent, Jimmy, decent. Getting the 4th load loaded on right now. Should be able to make one more, I'm thinking. 3 o'clock now. Yowzers. 30-foot mats. Got some 20s down there and then some 30s. It's a rarity to see 30s, especially in the oil field nowadays. Like, there used to be lots, but I feel like Ace Ventura. Whoever has a matting company that made all these. Who is that? Can't even. Matsystems.ca. This guy's probably made a couple million out of this project. 10 mil. In matting sales? What if they did the wood ones too? Then they're double that. Alright, almost ready to tie down. Better go. Well, trip number 5. It's raining more and more every time I come back here. Barely see the mountain now. Oh well. Last one for today. It's 3:45. Get this done quick. I think at this time I'm just grabbing some 8x20s and I don't know where they're going, but maybe going back to the other second yard, not the crossing, storage yard, and yeah, and then we'll beetle home. Excuse me. Got some poor souls up here in front of me riding a bike. Like, way too early in the year to depend on riding through here without getting wet or snowed on yet still. Oh well. Alright, let's get in there and get unloaded and get out of there and get back to the hotel. Get something to eat. I need some real food. I guess I got one more Sammy I could smash. I'm gonna do that. somebody will be there. It's 20 after 5, and I'm sure somebody communicated, like, yeah, we got one more truck coming, do not leave the facility. And, yeah, you know, they're all kind of young, so, you know, it's like, 4:40, 4:30, you know, it drops off. They're like, oh man, I can't wait to get out of here and go get wasted, or I guess can't go to the bar because it's not open. But he's a pretty young guy, so just imagine he had other things on his mind. I've been there. So anyway, so that's good. He's like, well, we could do it in the morning. I'm like, I didn't really want to drag it all the way to him, then all the way back. I'm just like, no, dude, the more empty I can be, the more awesome. And I'm saving on fuel, which I'm gonna have to get a splash. I don't know if I could do 2 full days. I'd be probably sweating bullets. Today was probably as hard as you could go. I did 5 loads. There was no real waiting. I probably could have shaved back. Well, we had a meeting. We had to meet this morning, so it was like 9:30.
Number 3 on Williams Road, calling for a convoy.
Copy that. So yeah, we meet at 7. We don't start work till like 9:30. So it's just how she be. No big deal. It is what it is. It's paid by the hour. It's a lot of swamp mats that have to be moved, and I think there's only like, well, there's 2 Cypress trucks, and then there's another log truck that's converted. Well, he's just got a bunk on the back and a bunk on the front, so nothing major. Which is probably the cat's meow, but he's only taking 16 mats at a time too, because it just gets too hot, top heavy. And some of that access road is a little up and over, twisty, turny, and it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So yeah, I got an hour and a half to get home, so I should be good. I'm gonna get fuel and stop and get, what am I having for dinner tonight? And I do have a chicken Caesar salad. I'm gonna stop by the freezing again and scope it out. See what else they got. Because I also, oh yeah, I need to get more stuff for lunch because now I'm out again. Check and mate. Alright, see you back in Hinton.